Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Noah SD with my silent partner Thomas, and we're going to show you that Absolute Poker runs a rigged Keno game. So, anyway, if you probably didn't know that Absolute Poker even has Keno, but it does in fact have Keno, you can go to casino.absolutepoker.com and then go to other games and click on traditional Keno. And after you do that, it'll ask you to log in, so you do need an Absolute Poker account to be able to do this. Um, And I don't know if you guys know how Keno works, but it's a very, very boring game. Basically, there are 80 numbers, and I didn't want to do that. But anyway, there are 80 numbers, and you can choose any number of them. I think up to like 20 or something. I don't know. But I've been choosing five. So I choose five of these numbers. And what will happen is I'll hit play one, which means like sort of spin this wheel or whatever. And it will choose 20 of these 80 numbers. And so there I just won. What happened is that of those 20 numbers, three of them intersected with my five numbers. So that meant if I get three, then I get paid 5 to 1 on my little stupid 10-cent bet. If I get four, I get 30 to 1. If I get five, I get 250 to 1. So anyway, this is a very boring game. But a high stakes regular, an Absolute Poker high stakes regular friend told him that there's this pattern that he found. And the pattern is very, very obvious when you use this little feature that they have called play 10, which just runs this 10 times. So basically what will happen here with like 86% likelihood, so I might get unlucky, but this usually happens, is a number between 1 and 5 will get hit. It will on one of these spins between 1 and 5, so now it's going to happen on this one. I'll get 3. And then the same thing will happen 5 later. So at 10, I'm very, very likely to get hit again. I don't expect to get hit on 7, 8, or 9. So here we go. I'm not going to get hit 9. And then 10 should hit with about 86% likelihood. There we go. So yeah, I can do that again to show you guys that I didn't just make that up. Again, I might run bad, but this happens 86% of the time. Sound like that. There are some other patterns as well, but I won't bother to mention those because I feel like one pattern is enough to show that it's rigged. So there we go. We got hit on 5 again. That's another one of the patterns. And now we're very, very likely to get hit on 10. So here's 10. There it goes. So again, the same thing happened. And, I'll post, obviously that's a sample size of 2. You don't really actually need a very large sample size to show that this is ridiculous because it's incredibly unlikely to happen, repeated times. But I actually have a nice sample size of 50, which is a lot of time to spend staring at this stupid Keno stuff. And I'll post those results and I'll post the actual probabilities and stuff below. But I want to show you guys something else too. So here's Thomas's screen. He's got the same thing open on his account. Note he has less money than me because he's poor. So what we're going to do is we're both going to hit play 10 at the same time. And what's going to happen is we're going to, the same rounds are going to hit for each of us with a fairly high likelihood. If it doesn't happen, it's just because we didn't get the timing right. Because, well, timing stuff's hard and there's a little bit of lag on my Skype and stuff like that. Okay, sorry. Thomas and I are having technical difficulties making this work because, well, we think it's because Camtasia lags my computer a little bit, especially Camtasia and TeamViewer and Skype going at the same time. But basically, what we're trying to show you here is that this random number generator is stupid in at least 2 ways. One is just that it's predictable, and you don't want a random number generator that's predictable. It generates predictable patterns. But it also uses a time seed, and the time seed is, the time seed is so coarse. In other words, it seeds in the time, like, I don't know, every quarter second or every half second or maybe every second or something like that, so that we're actually able to generate the same results if we just click at roughly the same time. So that shouldn't be possible with a reasonable random number generator, even one that uses a time seed. It is possible with this. Unfortunately, due to lag, we've been having a little bit of trouble getting this actually on video, but here we go. Like, this is attempt number 5 or something. So anyway, we're both going to click play 10 at the same time, and we should get the same results. So 3, 2, 1, click. Okay, so we both didn't hit on 1. So what we're looking for here is just whether or not we hit. There we go, you both hit on 2. And, presumably we'll both now hit on 7. Again, there's some small chance we'll both hit on 6 or we'll both hit on 8. But with 86% likelihood, we'll hit on 7. There we go. Okay, so obviously, since we tried this 5 times to make it work, we made it work a bunch of times off video. But obviously, since we tried it 5 times to make it work, we want to hopefully be able to show it to you guys again, to show we're not, just selecting for it. So Thomas is ready, it looks like, and we're going to go on 3, 2, 1, go. I don't know, on my computer that looked late. I hope it wasn't. There we go. So we both bank on 3, and then presumably we'll both bank on 8. Again, there's some small chance that we'll both bank on either 7 or 9. Here's where we expect it. And there you go. Note that the exact numbers aren't the same. So, there are possible explanations for why that's true. We'll discuss a little bit more of that in the post, but frankly, we don't really want to speculate too much on exactly what's going on. We just want you to see that there is, in fact, something going on. So they have a poor implementation of their RNG, and they need to fix it. And obviously, it means they're fairly incompetent. So Thomas, let's try it one more time. New game and last bet. Okay. And then 3, 2, 1, go. Hopefully we time that okay. There we go, we both hit on 3 again. And then again, there's very small percent chance we'll both hit on 7. Very good chance we'll both hit on 8, and then a decent but fairly small, like I think a 10-ish% chance that we hit on 9. So here I whiffed on 8, so I'm going to hit on 9. Thomas did hit on 8, so we were slightly off. But that shows you guys the rough idea of what's going on. There's clearly something wrong with the RNG. Thomas wants to do it one more time. All right, fine, let's do it one more time. It's kind of fun, frankly. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so there we go, both hitting on 4. And then presumably, again, we'll presumably both hit on 9. Sometimes we hit on 10 instead. There we go, both hit on 9 that time. Alright, so that gives you guys the rough idea. It's not super simple, but it's in fact what you'd expect if you were dealing with a timed RNG, especially one that were coded really badly so that patterns could come out of it. So anyway, we'll discuss this more in the post, but hopefully that made things clearer for you. Bye-bye.